We are moving on to topic 4, lesson 2, India's Vedic age. We're going to start a little bit different than usual. We actually are going to start on page 2 because these two questions are on page 2 of your digital notebook. I should probably switch them, but I like having your vocab words on that first page. So the first question you're going to look for in this pink highlighted part of the paragraph is, who lived in the Indus-Saraswati region after 2000 BCE? And then you have a mastery check question as well. You can see in the yellow here. What are the Vedas? You'll find that in this yellow circled part of the same paragraph. So let's go ahead and listen.
Lesson 2. India's Vedic Age. After 2000 BCE, another group of people lived in the Indus-Saraswati region. They called themselves Aryans scholars, often refer to them as Indo-Aryans. These peoples may have brought with them beliefs and practices that mixed with local groups. This idea is based on the fact they spoke Sanskrit, an Indo-Aryan language. Sanskrit is also the language in which the ancient Indo-Aryans composed religious hymns and poetry. These hymns are known as Vedas, and are the reason this period of history is called the Vedic Age.
All right, again, number 1. Who lived in the Indus-Saraswati region after 2000 BC? You'll find that answer in this pink highlighted part of the paragraph. And number 2, what are the Vedas? You'll find that answer in the yellow section of this paragraph. All right, let's go ahead and watch this video for this lesson.
Long ago, about 3000 BCE, some intriguing civilizations and great cities grew up in the valley of the Indus, but those cultures mysteriously disappeared and didn't leave a lot of clues behind. Then, a new group settled in the Indus Valley. Who were they? Did they migrate into India, or were they people who had been there all the time? In fact, historians still don't agree about where they came from. In any case, these people called themselves Aryans, and scholars often refer to them as Indo-Aryans. We know that they were herders and later settled down and became farmers. The Indo-Aryans' religion rested on a collection of hymns called the Vedas. They chanted these hymns and songs in a language called Sanskrit. Several languages of modern India come from Sanskrit, and it is even related to English and most European languages. The Rig Veda and other Vedic texts praise many gods and goddesses, and they also tell us about Indo-Aryan daily life and the things they enjoyed, like music and dancing. Over time, Indo-Aryan culture and religion started to influence all of Indian society. Their traditions spread all over the huge Ganges plain. In fact, this period of India's history is actually called the Vedic Age. What may be more important for us is that at some point, maybe about 500 BCE, the Vedas were written down in Sanskrit, though they were still important as spoken prayers. And because of that, we know more about what these people actually felt and thought. One thing that most people know about India is the system of castes, or fixed social classes. Those have their roots very early in Indian society. They may have started with the Vedas, which divided people into 4 social groupings, which were based on one's skill. Were you a priest or teacher, a ruler or warrior, a landowner, a banker or merchant, or were you a manual laborer? Another grouping was linked to what your family did for a living. Were you a baker, a carpenter, or a servant? After many years had passed, there were 5 distinct classes which decided what jobs a family did. The highest were Brahmins, who were priests, and Kshatriyas, the rulers and warriors. In the middle were landowners, merchants, and bankers. Below them were farmers, ordinary workers, and servants. The lowest caste were the Dalits, who did work that no one else would touch, like street cleaning. For a time, the people in this caste were even given the nasty nickname of untouchables. Class determined where you lived, the work you did, and even whom you could marry. In India today, the law says you cannot discriminate against people on account of their caste. Some traces of the caste system still remain in society, but now people from any class have their choice of a job or career. How do the social divisions by skill and occupation in ancient India compare to the divisions you have learned about in other ancient societies?
All right. Let's go back to page 1 now and look at our vocab words. We have 4. We have Veda, which is collection of hundreds of sacred hymns composed by the Aryans of ancient India. Caste, a fixed social class into which a person is born. Varna, grouping based on one's skill. And Jati, an occupation-based caste. So go ahead and pause my video now. Get these 4 words defined in your digital notebook.